Yeah.
All right, so you're welcome back. We have a conversation that we
Yes.
need to have. This conversation is mostly for the Anambra and people that like evidence of good governance. So you feel you want to learn from what is happening in Anambra State. So you sit close. This is our conversation. Today we're looking at
The significance of the Soludo agenda on infrastructure in Anambra State. What's the impact? Why is this legacy important? We've seen several projects going on. Some people always say, is this one necessary now? We do it now. Is this one necessary? Those are the questions we want to ask our guests on the show this morning.
And then we have a senior special assistant to the governor on media. I don't know, now some people will say, don't call me honorable, call me comrade. And some will say, don't call me comrade, call me mister. The governor is mister. So I'm going to put the three of them together. He's a comrade, he's a mister.
I think we are around on mister. So let's...
Should I say it? All right, so we have Mr. Obinna Nwankwo right here on the studios. Why did you choose Mr.? Because Mr. Governor chooses Mr.
You know, when he started answering Mr. Governor instead of His Excellency, so there was this philosophy that just came into me. I said, yes, this is actually right, because you can only be honored with your work. So you cannot be excellent while trying to execute your work.
Yeah.
So
after you've finished executing that, you
people
become
look at it and say, this man was an excellent, was His Excellency. So let us be Mr. for now.
Okay, so it's quite understandable, understandable. So, so far so good. We have the Solution Fund City. I've seen works, if I pass there, I used to say, but I get me PHA or lie. But I get me PHA. I'm going to keep my big girlhood aside and go there. All the things are going to enjoy it, but then that's story for another day.
Yeah.
Then we also had yesterday, ICC was filled to the brim. We had the 1U2 skills graduation. We had the road infrastructure. We had the human infrastructure. So far, so good. Will you say, this is roughly 3 years.
Yeah.
Will you say, remove the fact that you are a government appointee, so you're part of the government. Let me say, Mr. Obinna himself, is he impressed? If you were not part of this government, will you say, I'm impressed?
And why?
Whatever
position you take, why?
Yeah, why? Or will you say, I'm not impressed yet?
This must be like appearing before the Jewish Sanhedrin. You say, why did you get impressed?
Yes.
So thank you very much for you guys. You are very practical people, and I must commend you on that. Already, without any sense of being in government, no bias, no sentiment, I can tell you I am impressed. In fact, my expectation has been exceeded by Mr. Governor already. Why do I say this? Because I have been in government directly or indirectly since 2005. So this is 20 years. So I've seen everybody. The only person that I can say I didn't see really well was Mbadnuju. Sorry, Okwadike Ibuku, Chukwemeka Ezife. I saw Mbadnuju. I was there in the era of Bakassi. I was there in the era of morning prayers and everything. I was there in the era of Ngige. I was there at P2B, Willie Obiano, and now I was actually employed in Willie Obiano's administration, and I'm here in Soludo's administration. So I can tell you that Mr. Governor has done well, and I think the job he's doing, I am trying to imagine. I think he is trying to, remake the foundation of Anambra State. That is why you see the infrastructure you're talking about in every angle. People will talk about the road infrastructure, they talk about the health infrastructure, they talk about ICT infrastructure, which I know you are part of it somehow. I know, yes. The security infrastructure. I know we'll get to that, but I can tell you how he has, decided, or how he has determined to lay a fresh infrastructure for things to run.
Can you explain it now? Because when you say remake, do a fresh infrastructure, some people will say, but there's been people there. Give us a picture of why this is found, or new foundation is changing the face of Anambra State, and why we should trust the process.
Yeah, because if you say foundation, now people who are not from the state will feel like, oh, maybe here was just like a dungeon,
or
nothing
there was no
there.
foundation before.
So why did
explain
you
why you feel
said it's
this is
foundational?
Yes.
Okay, I think number one, you see what was happening in joint accounts, Jack, before now. The truth is that, let's not lie to ourselves, that all other governors has been using the same process, getting money from Jack, getting money, that is the one that belongs to local government and state government, to use it to work. Then it was there. Then Mr. Governor came and said, you have to provide a legal infrastructure for this, so that people will not exploit the process. You have to create something on the paper through which whatever you're going to do on Jack is measured. Now he went to the State Assembly and recreated what is like the National Economic Council, NEC, in Anambra State, where he brought the local government chairman, the state government being overseen by the Commissioner for Local Government and the Secretary of Jack. Now, he made sure everything that is now happening in Jack is being covered by law. This is new. This is foundational. You can't continue running something on something which is faulty. You can't continue on faulty foundation. If you go in details to discuss that, maybe to take our time. Then there is another one, in insecurity. Mr. Governor came and went head on into fighting insecurity, because there was a lot of insecurity while he was campaigning to be here. So you remember Nelson Omena's car was burnt, he ran into the bush, Emeka Ezewanne was kidnapped. This government, 3 police officers were shot in Iswafia town hall. A lot of local governments were burnt. Some elections of the state assemblies were not conducted in Anambra South, and including Obaru. They came to Oka, like mine was conducted, Urumba South was conducted in King David's Hotel in Oka here. So insecurity was very, very... So Governor came and launched in head on, to tackle it. It chased people away from Agule, Chukunubi, a lot of places. But something happened. If you find out that you met a lot of, roadblocks, you meet a lot of hiccups on the way. While you're fighting both the insecurity and the cultism that is there in everywhere, Mr. Governor said, okay, I am on our Bali from this side. Why are these things happening like this? He had to now sign some legislation into law on the July 11 law on something to guide about how to go against cultism, this street cultism that is happening in the state. He made sure he had a law to back it up. This is foundational. Then again, in insecurity here, you find out that we already have a law on homeland security, which has given these people power to really, really act, not driving with the handbrake on. You understand? So he gave them that freedom to at least work with other security agencies in the country to make sure that everything that is done both effectively and efficiently. So nobody had ever done it. Everybody comes, okay, bring Bakassi, bring these ones. At the end of the day, you see, if an individual takes the state to court, the state will start to struggle. Ajibesian has a settlement, that kind of thing. So he has done it. When it comes to the road infrastructure we are saying today, well, for me, it's starting afresh. Ask yourself, Dave, you've been here. Where are the roads that was constructed by every other person since 1990? Where are they? Where are they? You find out that in Oka here, as the last 2 years, there is no way you can drive your car from Opono to Unity Junction without coming down to walk on foot. It was not possible. Now you find out that a lot of places, even along this State Assembly to Roban area, all those places that they dump refuse and everything, you find out going through it was like, has Anambra State capital turned into a bush? Now, but one thing triggered that I know, that Mr. Governor, when he was campaigning, he was asking people questions, despite the fact that he was the first governor here to have a written, documented manifesto. There was never any manifesto that was used to run this government before the coming of Professor Chukwuemeka Soludo.
Now, I want to ask this question as we talk about fiscal infrastructure. Okay. We have on our screen now the Ekulobia flyover. I would ask this question, and this is a question I've been asked severally, and I want to use this platform also to throw that question to you. People always ask me, yes, we've seen the Ekulobia, we understand the importance of that road, but why is the governor also spending so much state resources on building a government house? Is it necessary at this time, looking at the economy? So I want to ask you that question. Why is the governor also paying huge attention to giving Anambra State a government house?
Okay, from my own angle, I am sure that Anambra State really never had a government house. Sorry, governor's lodge, mainly. You know, from what I heard, the place that the governor is staying in Amobia was a judge's quarters in those days. So it was a temporary place for the governor to stay. So, and there is this mentality, there is this thing that happens to your psyche. You are living in another town, it is still in Oka Metropolis, but you're working as a governor who stays in Oka. And when you go in there, because it was never really planned as a state governor's lodge, you find out that it is not befitting. You know, it looks like, more like a camp, you know, all these holiday camp settings, you know, that kind of thing. So, Mr. Governor thinks it wise that he has to something. So the governor, who is a governor of Anambra State, whose capital territory is in Oka, he has to live in Oka now. Yes. So at least, then the government house, you find out that it is also not befitting. And when you watch the infrastructure around you, somehow it plays on your psyche. You cannot create something so wonderful while living in an alternate house. You know that kind of thing. So you have to give. If you are giving, he said when he was campaigning that Oka will wear a velvet. Now, can Oka wear a velvet without a befitting government house and a governor's lodge? You understand? These are the kind of velvets that the Oka will wear to look like people na Akoyon. They say even Abakaleke is better than Abakaleke as is better. Even though my hair is better, Owerri is better. Sorry, yes, as a capital than Anambra capital. So he has to raise. If we are Anambra, if we are that proud people, we are proud. If we are that proud people, if we are that perfectionist that we are, then we have at least, before you begin to tell somebody, okay, come up to my level. Where is that your level? With a very rough-looking governor's lodge and the government house, where the governor, in fact, where the governor was living as in his own house as a person, is better than the government and the governor's lodge. So it warrants paying much attention to such infrastructure. To at least Agro 1, Agopia, it won't be done again. It won't be done again. So.
Okay, so I would like to look at the human infrastructure you get. Yeah, I understand the 1U2 skills, the ones that were being run by the Solution Innovation Districts, but I also like to look at employment. When you think of Governor Soludo's 3 years, and then you think of Anambra, do you really think it is dribbling down to the grassroots? What I mean is that, yes, all these things are happening in Oka, we're seeing it, but you, the Anambra are seeing do you really think it's dribbling down? Because we're actually getting into a campaign season soon. And whether we like it or not, campaigns happen in grassroots. So do you really think that Mr. Governor is ready to go to the grassroots and say, I have served you well? Did he dribble down to the grassroots in terms of the free education, in terms of the free skill training, in terms of the employment, everything? Because we know na onko onye riko jana. Our people mostly will tell you that they appreciate the road, but they want it to touch them. And we in town, in the capital, no, it's really touching the human angle. But my point now is it dribbling down to the rural areas?
Yes, it is. Let me give an example with my, charity begins at home. So explanation and example should start from me.
Okay.
Yes. I'm from Esiago, a town in Orumba South local government area of the state. For the first time in our life, we have not seen a third road. So, and it has never happened until Mr. Governor, Professor Chukwuma Charles Soludo came in and awarded the construction of that about 4-kilometer road that passed through Ezira, Isulo, then Eziago, into Umunze, out towards the road you take to Bunka. With this, a third road will be passing through our community. So if you get to my community today, we are only pleading, God, please, is there a way to fast forward the election day so that we will cast an appreciation vote for Mr. Governor?
Because you've actually felt it.
We have actually felt it. If for Kwase is that no only in Koma, then we have actually eaten in Governor, so we know him. And I can tell you that currently our town, there was a contribution that was going on to thank Mr. Governor, but we decided, okay, we are not going to thank him. We are doing that contribution to use it to sponsor his own campaign in my town. So whatever anybody is saying on Twitter, when he finishes on Twitter, he comes down to Eziago to see us. Then if you go to Anambra, I think Anambra West local government area, for the first time, you cannot go, you couldn't have gone there with your car, but today you can go there with your vehicle. And then Ebenebe, the other day you saw this guy that is this popular guy, Bitcoin, is a B-Lord. And, he was actually praising Mr. Governor for getting a road pass through Ebenebe and then down to Obo family and all those areas. You see now, one of the significance now, you see that he has launched a transport scheme because he's seen a road. And the first example he made, he drove the car that he's trying to bring down to Anambra. In fact, he has brought down to Anambra. He drove the car from his house in Ebenebe to his office in Oka.
And you still ended up doing free adverts for him on ABS. Go on, please. I enjoy your personal
but like you're saying, that's the spiral impact.
Yes. No, I totally understand.
When people brought in transportation schemes because there is road. Now, there was this. If you go to Obo family and all these places.
The ones in the close to riverines.
Real rural area. Before, the church people, I was once in the church. I know that before, when you want to punish an erring clerical officer, you send that person to
It's no longer that way now.
It's no longer that. It is no more a punishment. If you send that person to see roads, he can start farming there and then bringing things to sell for you. You have promoted him into a very good area where he can lay hands or something. So those are the impacts. So the rural people, the people of Anambra, are enjoying it more than it's not like the governor is concentrating in Oka. You go to Onitsha and you see people. I have never in my life had an Onitsha person tell, please, for somebody from Kano, come down to Oka, let me take you around, let me drive you around. Imagine somebody saying, let me drive you around in Onitsha. It was never like that. You understand? So
I will take that powerful statement as your summary because we are talking about the significance and it has changed the face for Onitsha person that he can do such invitation.
Yes, and also changed our both family.
changed
everybody's perception.
All right. Thank you very much, Mr. Obinna, for Senior Special Assistant to Governor Chukwuma Soludo on media. The truth is that even if we left you here for 2 hours, I know you continue to. you will never get tired. So thank you very much for joining us on the program this morning. All right. Weekend show continues right after now with our breakfast news. Stay with us.